G'day guys, Des Landen from Landen International. To be honest, haven't really worked out my intro, but it's not about me. What I'm doing today is for you. I want to fast track your knowledge in crypto and do the best I possibly can to do that without pushing something down your throat. This isn't something that's going to be paid or anything like that. Fuck it, I've already made it. I've been trading for 10 years, actually 12, but the first 2 years don't count when you're a hobbyist and trying to work out your methodology and your trading plan. That takes time, and right now I see certain things in this crypto market where now is the time with everything that's going on economically around the world. I will impart that knowledge of my opinion, and obviously, hey, first things first, you've read the disclaimer of look, this is for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice at all. You might be able to hear some chewing in the background. Missy, come here, come. Through these videos in the future, you might see someone pop into the... Missy? You might see someone... Oh, let me just move this down. It'd be easier, wouldn't it? You might see this lovely girl pop into the videos as well. But let's get into it, and I'm just going to tell you a bit of a game plan of what might transpire here. Hey girl, you can sit down there if you want. Good girl. So I want to impart some knowledge, and it's really to clarify and cut through all the bullshit and the noise that's going out there. Look, we keep it simple. You're going to see naked charts. We do an overview into the innards. This is how I trade too, but I'm not going to give you my trading plan away because you need to understand what you see in the charts. It's your perspective, what you look at, all right? And it's what direction you might look at or see on the charts as well. You really need to find that out. Right now, I'm concentrating on you when this market's already going. Look, it's going to move with or without you, and there's plenty of opportunities, so define that, because it is about timing, but it comes down to the strategy and your plan too. We will go into a bit of technology and where we've come to, what actually makes this beast move, and I'll do a daily Bitcoin recap and just see what's mined, what's being done, the market cap, and also I'll dive into the population of the world. I think that's very important for you guys to understand how fresh and new this is. Other than it being, quite large. See you later, Missy. Other than it being quite large and doing all right over a decade, and how far we've come, and then people like me that have transitioned to this industry and, met a lot of important people and cool people that are really doing good things in this industry, and also made a life of myself from it. So we'll go into Bitcoin, that gold 2.0. All right, that's what we're calling it here. We'll dive into a bit of TA, but what I want to do too is I'll start these videos with a Bitcoin thought-provoking statement, and today's is, all right, here we go. Bitcoin is the gold that weighs nothing, takes up no space, and can't be counterfeited or seized. It teleports instantaneously anywhere in the world, and no one can stop it from happening. No wonder why people are skeptical. Bitcoin is straight out of a science fiction novel. And it's true. Like, seriously, people don't have an understanding, and that's where the media really doesn't portray it for what it is. But more frankly, why would they care? It's better to have a fucking negative story about something than, a peaceful innovation. We're going to change the world. Bitcoin dominance currently sitting at 68.7%. Now, what does that mean? Basically, there's a market cap, right, of all the cryptos, and Bitcoin has a dominance of 68.7%. That means out of all the other cryptos, 2,000 plus 5,000, whatever, it doesn't really matter. This is why they're called shitcoins, by the way. It's holding the top position. It's king, guys. All right, all those other cryptos are fighting out that 31.3% right now. So wouldn't you want to know about the dominating factor, what's playing out the monopoly? Yeah, there's some other strong ones in the top 10, what I would call those blue chips. But start with this, start with the basics. Days until Bitcoin mining, Bitcoin halving rather, 267 days. What does that mean? Okay, in 267 days, the difficulty is going to get more. And so basically, the way to do this, every 4 years, the difficulty doubles. And the last Bitcoin, the last block to be mined, is estimated to be in the year 2140. So is there time? Yes. However, better to get in now than later when either the price is going up or there's very little Bitcoin to be had. You have to understand supply and demand. And that's where we dive into the mining process too. Currently, we're at a capacity of 85.21%. Once again, leaving less than 15% of all Bitcoin to be mined. So therefore, there's 17,800,000 over circulating right now out of that possible 21 million. That's what you would be buying off the exchanges. That's what you would buy off me for wholesale. 100k up, I'll give you close to spot prices. We've really got left to mine over 3.1 million here, guys. That's very interesting. So you could dive into the realms of looking to mine yourself too, but work backwards. Electricity costs, all this sort of stuff. Sometimes it's just not viable. In Australia, not viable. Our electricity prices are too much. Our taxation is too much. Our labor costs are too much. But that's why the beauty of crypto is so beautiful, because it really cuts down on all of this stuff when you truly think about it, when it truly comes to the forefront and is actually a payment option and merchants fully take it on involved, like a whole shopping center, major chains. Wow, what's the possibility going to be? But that takes time. That's the evolution of the beast. Price, hard right edge of the screen. Currently, I know my sheet says right here 10,400, but in real time right now, looking at the charts, because we are live as I'm recording it now, it's 10,354 USD. Why do I go to USD? USD is kind of the power at this point in time for currency conversions. If you don't understand what a currency conversion is, please go Google it. But I do like to talk in stats when you become more proficient, because this is a currency to me, and it's made me millions, so I see a lot of value in it, put it that way. That's why I won't be talking about any other investment. Maybe gold. I see in the pending recession how that could definitely go up and there's trading possibilities, but why make 5% when you can make 50% with something else? You just need to understand it. Daily change from those charts from yesterday, we got plus 2.83% to the upside. We have gone back into a bit of what I would call a consolidation zone, looking from the wider time frames in. However, having said that, there is opportunity on the lower time frames. I won't go below a daily, well, very rarely, in that I'm not here to provide you signals in this respect. Market cap, how's that worked out? Hard right edge of the screen there, it's that price times by the the Bitcoin that's being mined. So currently we're sitting at over 186 billion. You also see the world population here. Now, for me to clarify this, I think Bitcoin should be for everyone. So population of the world, over 7.7 billion. And I think everyone should hold it. So that's why I go market cap divided by the population of the world equals 23.43 USD, that everyone, if Bitcoin was equally shared, could have in their pocket. I would transfer that into Satoshis though and not talk about USD. Alright guys, we've got the daily chart here, and so I'm going to go through it for you. I like to keep my charts naked. Why do I do that? Let's keep things simple on ourselves, like make it easier on ourselves. We're going through an overview and diving into it, into the technicals, alright? You don't want to start with too many technicals at the start. Just keep it simple. And you want to get an overview because you're going to see certain things having an overview that you might not if you start with the lower time frame. So that's why I do this. I keep things simple, naked chart. Why? Because price is king. If it wasn't for price, this timeline of price and where it went and how it moved in that certain time frame wouldn't be here. Okay, you could use candlesticks, you could use, say for example, line graphs, or a bar chart, but I like to use candles. candles are good. It shows you where price is been and gone and potentially going. So for example, on my chart, I've got blue candlesticks for up. You might see that on other people's trading charts as green. And on my charts, a down candle is white. All right. For me, it doesn't really matter about the color. I've actually just tried to do the color scheme for some screenshots, to be honest, but I'm motionless to this marketplace. But sometimes with green or red, it becomes emotion. You'll say, well, why do you have red and green? Well, that brings me on to support and resistance. Support. All right. Support is like a trampoline sometimes in trading. So I like to bounce, baby. Bounce. So that's why I've put it as green. And resistance, well, you're beating your head against something until you pop out of it, and then you might come back and bounce off it. Therefore, it becomes support. So those lines in the future, you might see me change their color, not their values, because the value of where they are situated will always remain the same, but the color between support and resistance will change. Okay, and price might retest those areas. However, they could also be profit targets or profit zones, or where you might want to put your stop as well. Don't forget that if I'm looking at it, other traders could be looking at it too. Also, other traders are looking at a hell of a lot more stuff too. Let me say this right now, indicators are lagging, guys. I don't mind if you use them. If you find your methodology, you formulate your trading ideas from that. But if you're starting out, keep things basic. Don't filter your brain with shit. Right, there's no holy grail here. The holy grail is you and you deciphering what this market is for you. All right, and that takes time. That's why I say when people ask me how long you've been trading for, I go 10 years. It's actually 12, but the first 2 years was fucking around, finding out what worked for me. I was a hobbyist. Think of yourself as a hobbyist. Don't put too much pressure on you in regards to just trying to make money overnight. It'll happen in turn if you stick with it. All right, get that trading plan done. We won't go into trading plans today. I'm giving you an overview. Whew, wow, this will be a long video, but it's important. So what I endeavored to do is show you these charts and where they're marking in real time. Obviously I have to render and upload these videos too, but I'll try and keep it as basic as possible. Won't go past the dailies, but for some way, look, we know the market's going to go one place, three places. The market's either going to go sideways, or it's going to go up, or it's going to go down, and that's why we formulate this. Let me delete those here and let's go into what I see in the charts right now. So for example, I might draw and trend lines. Let's just go on the trend lines here. You'll see my trend lines. Some people go, are you a wick person or a body? It depends. Like for example, and this going forward, like let's just think about this. There's a trend line there, right? All right. Oh. And then some people might go to the bodies and want their 3 points. Now, for you to decipher over time, I can see certain things on this chart which you won't be able to see, or you can see things in this chart which I'm not going to call out right now. I'm not going to go head and shoulders, a cup T-handle, Bollinger Bands, Fibonacci points, anything like that. Oh man, no. I'm not going to do charting patterns. I'm just going to go price is king, lower highs, higher lows, boom. It's the basics that get you to that other stuff, all right? Use those as a confluence of events to get you to that next stop, for you to put that order on and be patient and wait, all right? But for example, let's go back into this trend line. Sometimes I'm a wick guy, sometimes I'm a body. Look at this one down here, all right? This one I drew and it's respected it down here. It doesn't mean I'm good or anything. It's just what other traders are seeing too. So think about it this way. We've drawn two trend lines, one through the wicks, 1.2 points, all right, coming down here. Think about this one through the bodies, 1 point, not really a second one there, but a third one here at this high of this candlestick. Now, what happens if price moves up here? For example, let's get my lovely yellow. What happens if price moves here over due course and time? Look, for you guys, you might think that there's a break. If this breaks, we're going long. All right, we're going long and we might be hitting this resistance level here, but not the case, because what if 80% of other traders are going, nah, we still need to break this before we get in? You might get stopped out, guys. You might get stopped out. So you need to understand the capacity of what other people are looking at these charts, but also define yours. It's your strategy. You're either going to fucking win or lose, or not get into the market. And sometimes not getting into the market saves you fucking money as well. Let's keep that simple. Whew. You're going to get the real me. I love this stuff, man. I love this stuff. So that's trend lines there. I'm going to delete that. Because although there is that trend line there, well, I want to give you an overview of what else can see. So we're just going to go through things like this, and I actually think this market, well, we still have a room to move to the downside, okay, but price has gone here, it's come back up, it's tested this support zone off the trend line, and the support zone at 10.2, all right, that was resistance the other day. It was resistance, and we're looking rather heavy to the downside, but we have sucked up. Wicks are important in this instance too, that they haven't really shown that strong zone to stick down in this zone too, all right. We'll get into that more daily. Oh, this is a very big overview. I'd love to spend more time with you too in regards to this, but I want to keep this sort of short and sharp on this one. Heading down to the lower too, we've got this double bottom, which could turn into a triple bottom. 1, 2, 3. So there is this area of support right here as well. Let's not forget that. But for me, I like to see price come down here before him. If price comes down, breaks, follows this trend line, look, that then becomes resistance, and if we break that support and that becomes resistance, let's see what happens. In these charts also, look, this could be formulating, because I'm just trying to show you stuff of, look, just because you see something doesn't mean it's going to fucking go there, right? So we could also see the market go here, because we have made this. We are in a larger time frame where other stuff can happen, but we could see the market come back up here. Boom. We got this support zone here off this trend line, and the support zone where we could, even though we're going a bit down in price from today, we could slowly trickle up. It is the weekend. It is the weekend. But crypto does move 24/7, 365. We do have this double top area up here. All right, boom. Well, first of all, we need to break this. And then if we get into this price zone up here, this is going to be really interesting when we break this level here, because it might coincide with this. This is a very interesting area here. And that's why I go the broader way. And then when I go internally into the charts, I condense it for profit targets and stops, where I put my stops. All right, depends if you're a daily trader, intraday. I would call myself more intraday, and I don't like to hold a position more than 3 months. I don't. Look, this is the wider market. If you're more than 3 months, you're more an investor. We're still investors, but we like to move with this market. There's plenty of opportunities here right now, especially in Bitcoin. But if we come up to this high and break this, that's not a very good. But for example, let me do this. Straight, press shift. If we come up to this high break, and we break this, then we've got a hell of a lot of room to go. And you'll see in my charts, I'll condense this. This is a good instance to talk about this. This is a prime time zone. This is my prime time zone. I have got wording on the other side. Oh, let's go into that too. I'll move back into the monthly so you can see my chicken scroll and go on that. This is just an introductory video. It's going to go way too long. All right. Also, I like to do this manually, is I like to depict where the Dow Jones is, the S&P 500, Amazon, gold, okay? For me, when Bitcoin passed gold parity, it was a thing. In the comments below, write down where gold, when Bitcoin hit gold parity, that would be lovely. But yeah, over here, so you see working out. And look, once you do your zones internally, go back out and see where they are and certain things that are transpiring. So I've made this list over here as well. You've got my reassess zone down here, accumulation zone, which we're currently in, prime time, that means get a fucking move on for you retail people. FOMO zone, a lot of people will feel like they're missing out and actually either get into the market and get, well, not necessarily wrecked for the long-term hold, I feel, but in the short term, they might not understand it, and they'll get to the capacity of the highs, and then if the market drops, they feel like they're a bit of a remorse buyer and get out. So we will see the market move and get quite edgy at that point in time. That's what you're getting set up for right now. Up the top, missed opportunity emotions. I missed the boat. That's where people will obviously go all in even more, because we're pushing past these highs. All right, we're highs. So we got contracted orders of $5 billion up there, depending on the highs and where they are. So that's a very exciting. So please note that all these people that are accumulating down here are looking to sell, which could potentially move the market too. They've made profit, guys. And so it'll be very interesting to see what happens. Two things what will happen. It makes it real. It makes it a thing. People will go, oh, this is tulip season. It's going to fall down. This is it. It's gone. All right, it's the high, it's never going to get there. Or it's just showing that it actually fucking works, okay? Reassess zone right down the bottom. Let's go into that. Bitcoin is going to get there. Look, if a hyperledger or Bitcoin dominance falls to shit and some other crypto takes over, or a hyperledger, or, we all become one as a community, and Bitcoin doesn't matter because there's another world reserve currency or something. Probably not. The internet's turned off, or there's zero electricity around the world, so you can't access your Bitcoin. Or a global financial crisis. It'll be interesting to see what price actually does. Many people are saying that Bitcoin is a hedge, just like gold during a recession. But if we really fall off the face of the map trading wise, and there's a lot of hurt around the world in multiple countries, we might see Bitcoin go down. During that time, there might actually be, just like if your net worth in a bank, during a recession, if you were to go to the bank and ask for your whole net worth, they're going to say, no, sorry, we can't do that. Just maybe in Bitcoin too, you might not actually be able to get your fiat currency because of that situation into the crypto markets, or the liquidity pools where you are at that point in time might have dried up, or they're securing it because they're riding it. Sometimes, why would you sell something? All right, why would you sell something if it could potentially go up, or there's not profit to be had? Why sell it? Simple as that. Or yeah, so there's a lot of, this is what I'm trying to say. Crypto really combines a lot of economic factors from the traditional world, plus its new economic factors that are going on. And I want to impart that knowledge on you going forward. But moving forward, I think this is, you really need to understand what money is. You really need to understand governments and their structures. That's worldwide, baby, because Bitcoin is worldwide. So you need to understand why in some countries it's illegal, and why in some countries they've got the green light that this is the best thing since sliced bread. You need to understand manipulation in the marketplace too, and also the technology, the blockchain technology, the economics behind that and how it works. But look, this is a beautiful industry to be with. I'm happy to be here. I'm very glad I'm doing these videos for you today. I look forward to teaching a lot of people, well, not even teaching, imparting some knowledge to fast track your knowledge and get you in the right way. So if I could do my part and impart some adoption to you, impart why getting into this can of worms is good for you, but it's up to you for you to make that decision yourself. I've been Des Landen. I really want to bring you a hell of a lot more here. This is the accumulation zone right now before the prime time. So maybe just take a look at some resources. There's a lot of free stuff on the internet in regards to this, and just spend a weekend looking in. I'd much prefer to spend a weekend of your life researching what blockchain and Bitcoin is than missing out on a thorough opportunity here. I've been Des Landen. You've also been great for watching this far. I'm really looking forward to this. Catch you later, guys, and you enjoy your weekend. Bye now.